Hey, hi all. In this video, we will be discussing about the different context variables which we have in Salesforce triggers and different events which we have in triggers, and what will be the value of a context variable in which event. And these questions like what will be the value of trigger.old in before insert trigger or before update trigger. This type of questions are majorly asked in interviews, in Salesforce interview, majorly for the development role or for analyst role. So as you can see, we have a trigger, and the name of the trigger is test trigger, and it is on object account. And the events, as you can see, there are multiple events which are there, uh, like before insert, before update, then after update, after insert, before delete, after delete. Then we are using trigger context variable, that is before. So if trigger is running in before context, before saving a record, the trigger runs in this context, and this particular values will be populated. If we are updating a record, so before updating a particular record, all these values will be updated, or we will get to know what is the value of the trigger.old or trigger.new or trigger.new map or trigger.old map. Likewise, for delete also it will work in the same manner before deleting a record, because once we do any database activity on any record, before saving it to the database, before trigger runs, and after saving it to database after trigger runs. So eventually on every save of a record which we do in a Salesforce, both this after and before event triggers, and what event we have defined in that particular trigger, that will only run in that particular context. So moving ahead, for example, we will be creating one account. So we will just go to query editor. We will query is the simplest query we have. Then we will be creating one record of account, that will be ABC. The name of that particular account might be ABC Private Limited, and we will click on save. As now we have created a new record of that particular account, so only the insert event has fired before insert and after insert. So before inserting a particular record, what all values we have in this particular context variables, and after inserting, what values we have in this particular context variables, that we can check by debugging this. So we will just go to logs, and we have a log created for this activity, and then we will just go to debug only, because it is a raw log we have, and then we will go to debug only, so we will get only the debugs. So as we have inserted a new record, so only before insert and after insert we are able to see, not this one like after update or before update thing. And as you can see, what will be the value of trigger old value will be null, because there is no because we have created a new record, and that record is not existing in the database. That's why the trigger.old value will be null, because trigger.old is nothing but a list. And then this will be the trigger.new which we have inserted now, and the ID of that is null as of now. Once we save that record, it will get the ID and all that thing. And then trigger.new map, it will have null value because there is no ID as of now before trigger. After saving that record, we will get the ID of that particular record. That's the reason we are getting ID and all that stuff in after event, not in before. So this is for insertion part. Then we will just go to that particular record, and we will just edit this thing, and we will update it to ABC, and we will then again save this record. Again, there is a debug log created. We will just go to that log, debug only. Now as you know, we have just updated a existing record. In this, the before update and the after update events are fired, and we have value for trigger dot old, because previously we were having a value of ABC PNVT limited. Now it is only ABC, and you can see in after update also we have the same values in all the context variables. In the same way, we will see for delete part, when we delete a particular record, so we will select this record and we will just delete this record. And now we just go to this debug again and we'll check. So in this delete, only the before delete and after delete are fired, and we don't have any new value for that particular record. The record was already present in the database, that's why we have the value in trigger.old list, not in new. And in the same way, in after trigger also we have the values in trigger.old, not in trigger.new. So that is how we can use different types of context variables while writing a trigger in Salesforce, and what are the events and on which event a particular context variable will have a value, or if it will be a null value. So that you can check by using this debug logs, and by adding system.debug in your code, you can know uh, up to which line or up to which function your code is working as per expectations. Thank you. Have a nice day.